Here's a fight between a guy and himself. On one side, the original Red Ranger, the leader, the guy who started it all, the one every other ranger followed into battle. And on the other side, the same man years later, powered up into the Gold Ranger, holding alien energy strong enough to make him the heaviest hitter on his entire team. Both of them are Jason Lee Scott. So this is the original versus the upgrade. The Red Ranger who earned it against the Gold Ranger who was handed a power almost too big to hold. So if these two fought, no plot armor, no mercy, who actually wins? And I'm telling you right now, the answer is not as obvious as it looks. Let's break it down. 5 rounds. Raw power, weapon, Zord, combat and leadership, and staying power. Win the most rounds, win the fight. And there's a twist hiding in this one that flips the whole thing, so do not click off before the end. Round 1. Raw power. Where does the strength actually come from? The Red Ranger's power came from the Tyrannosaurus power coin. It's Earth power, dinosaur power, granted by Zordon, and it made Jason arguably one of the strongest of the original 5. But it's still, at the end of the day, 1 coin's worth of power. Grounded, human scale. The Gold Ranger's power came from Trey of Triforia, an alien from another world entirely. And that's a completely different tier of energy. When Jason took the gold powers, he didn't just get an upgrade, he became one of the hardest hitting rangers on the Zeo team, throwing around energy that no Earth coin could match. So on pure raw power, this isn't close. Alien beats dinosaur. Round 1 goes to gold, comfortably. Round 2, the weapon. The Red Ranger has the power sword, and it's a legend, one of the most iconic blades the show ever made. When Jason draws that sword, you know somebody's about to lose. As a straight blade, up close, it's deadly. But the Gold Ranger has the golden power staff, and the staff does more. It's a melee weapon, and it's a blaster, firing bolts of that same alien energy across the battlefield. So the Red Ranger is bringing a sword to the fight, and the Gold Ranger is bringing a weapon that hits you up close and blasts you from range. The power sword might be the more famous weapon, but the golden power staff is the more complete one. Round 2, I've got to give it to gold as well. Round 3, the Zords, and this one's interesting. The Red Ranger pilots the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord, and it's not just any Zord, it forms the body and the head of the Megazord. It is the core of the team's giant robot. Without the Tyrannosaurus, there is no Megazord. So it's central, it's powerful, and it's iconic. But the Gold Ranger has Pyramidas, and Pyramidas is a monster. A colossal pyramid, one of the biggest Zords of its whole era. A carrier Zord so big, it hauls the other Zords around on top of it. It absolutely dwarfs the individual Dinozords. The Tyrannosaurus is the heart of a team robot. Pyramidas is a walking mountain. On raw scale, round 3 goes to gold 2. So it's 3-0. This looks like a blowout. The Gold Ranger is more powerful, better armed, and pilots a bigger Zord. So why did I tell you the answer isn't obvious? Because the fight isn't over. Round 4, combat and leadership. Who is the better actual fighter? And this is where Red finally plants his flag, because this is his entire identity. Jason, as the Red Ranger, was the martial artist, the hand-to-hand anchor, the guy the whole team looked to in every single battle. He didn't win fights by having the biggest energy blast. He won them by being the most disciplined, most skilled, most fearless fighter in the room. The Gold Ranger run was powerful, but Jason came into it as a returning ally, a heavy hitter dropped onto an existing team, not the field general. As a pure fighter and a leader, the Red Ranger is the more complete warrior. Round 4 goes to Red, and it's not particularly close either. So it's 3-1. The Gold Ranger just needs to not lose the last round, and he takes it. Round 5, staying power. And this is the twist, and it changes everything. Because here's the thing about the Gold Ranger powers that almost nobody brings up in this debate. They were killing him. That alien energy was never meant for a human body to hold. The whole time Jason was the Gold Ranger, that power was slowly draining his life force, wearing him down, until it got so bad that Trey had to come back and physically take the powers away to save Jason's life. Sit with that. The most powerful version of Jason was also a Jason on a timer, with a power that was actively burning him out from the inside. The Red Ranger has none of that. His power is stable. It's his. It doesn't drain him. It doesn't have an expiration date. He is exactly as strong in the last minute of a fight as he is in the first. So, put these two in a long fight, a real war of attrition, and watch what happens. The Gold Ranger starts stronger, way stronger. But every minute that passes, that alien power is draining him a little more. And the Red Ranger is just steady, unmoving. Round 5, staying power goes to Red, decisively. So, now look at the scorecard. 3 rounds to 2, the Gold Ranger wins, on paper. But that last round isn't just a point on a card. It's the entire story of the fight. So here's my actual verdict, and it's not a cop-out, it's the honest answer. The Gold Ranger wins the sprint. The Red Ranger wins the marathon. If this fight is short, if it's a quick burst, the Gold Ranger's raw alien power overwhelms Red before staying power ever matters. And it's over fast. But if this fight goes the distance, if it drags out, then the gold power drains Jason down while the Red Ranger stays exactly as dangerous as he started. And the original walks away. So the whole thing, the entire fight comes down to one single question. How long does it last? A short fight is gold, a long fight is red. And me personally, I think the original Red Ranger is too smart and too disciplined to trade blows early and lose the sprint. I think he survives the opening, drags it out, and lets that alien power burn itself down. So if I had to put money on it, I'm taking Red. The original outlasts the upgrade. But I already know a whole lot of you think alien power just ends it in the first 10 seconds. And honestly, that's a completely fair argument. So tell me, Red Ranger or Gold Ranger? The original or the upgrade? Who actually wins, and how long does the fight last? Drop it in the comments and make your case, because this is the kind of fight that people will argue about forever. And before you go, 3 quick things. First, if you want to see who I'd throw at the winner of this one next, I've got more matchups coming, and one's on screen for you right now. Go watch it. Second, hit the hype button. It genuinely helps the channel. And third, subscribe, because we are settling every single one of these fights, one Ranger at a time. Same man, the original and the upgrade. And when the power that's supposed to win the fight is the same power slowly killing him, sometimes the strongest version of you loses to the one who just refuses to burn out. Make your case.